I'm Dara Thomason and welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered about where you can help out in the earth and be creative all at the same time? Well, one of the ways that I have found that feels really fun for me, and I would love to hear back from you, is I love rescuing quilts from thrift stores. I know it's a little bit of a theme, but I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about the and I live on Vancouver Island. I am thinking that, and it's a very eco-friendly place. We have no plastic bags here where I live. We're very conscious because we're so close to the earth. We have trees here on the island that have been growing for hundreds and hundreds of years. But whether or not you're someone who's super into saving the earth, I think that one of the ways that I like to approach quilting and thrift and beauty, like art in any way, it's like making something beautiful out of other things. And so my grandmas and my great grandmas, they used flower cloths, sacks. They used old shirts. They used whatever they could. And I really like being a part of that kind of approach to taking care of the earth. I am going to have grandkids and great grandkids, and I want them to experience the beauties that we have. There is a lake not too far from me that you can drink from the lake. I don't remember the last time I felt comfortable drinking from a lake. It was shocking to me. And I want my grandkids and great grandkids to have that same opportunity. And so these little things that we can do, just like drips, after a certain amount of time, it will fill a tub. It will fill something. And so little practices that we take can have a big impact. So today I wanted to share with you some of my thrift store finds that I am going to be using, cutting up, making quilt coats, making other items. And that's going to save them from going into the landfill. We can go back to the reduce, reuse, and recycle. So first of all, if we are reducing how much we consume, that's a bonus. Reduce, reuse. So I'm actually taking things that someone else owned and I'm reusing them. I'm going to repurpose them. So I have this large queen size quilt. In fact, my son kind of stole it. He thinks he really likes it. So I had to go get it from his bed. But I thought this would be kind of a fun coat. And but right now it's actually going to be on the quilt. It's a quilt on my son's bed. So, and eventually, especially this is something with a quilt, for example, I'll show you the next one. It needs some repairs. So this is a really old quilt. It has, it's like a polyester top and it's got a flannel backing and it was tied. The ties are in the back. But it was actually, they used for the filling, they used a wool blanket. So I'm just going to come closer. So there's several places on this quilt that have rips, but it's such a unique, kind of a cool vibe about it. It's got these really cool polyester retro designs, and I just couldn't pass it up. And I just didn't want it to go to the landfill because after a while, if it has so many rips, they probably will just do that. Here's another one, for example. So I have a choice to make. I can either make the quilt coat around the rips. Here's another one. Or I can spend some time. Maybe I put on a movie, sit by the fire, and then I can do some patching. Maybe when I cut out the quilt, I will kind of create some different designs. Here's another large cut for it. And so this is just a really fun creative palette for me and a way for me to kind of express myself in different ways. All right, this next one I could not resist. I have a feeling this might be a really nice duster one, like a longer coat, but it also could be a really nice spring one, but it's quite a large quilt. It's from, we don't have Target anymore in Canada, and so I'm pretty sure this was, Threshold. I think that's a Target design. So just a really pretty palette, and it's really clean. And so I could use this for quilts later. And I have one more quilt to show you. And this one is kind of an interesting one. This is one of those pre-made quilts. They're not, you know, but it's not very well quilted. It's not very densely quilted. So I thought this could be fun for me to throw on my long arm, and I could embellish it. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this approach of going to a thrift store, going to an antique store, finding quilts, and kind of rescuing them. I mean, if you want to use them as quilts, wonderful. If you want to be creative and do something with them, that's another way of making your life more interesting. So food and overkill, like all those buffers that we're so disappointed with ourselves with, they don't happen as often. All right, I'd love to hear your comments below, and stay tuned for more exciting things of what I'm going to create with all those quilts.